Welcome to the Tea Huddle with Marisa and Kelly.
Your only source for gridiron gossip.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I hope you're ready for some gossip.
And also some football, because it wouldn't be Thanksgiving without it.
Yes, you're right. You're right. You're in the right place for the football and the gossip. This week is Thanksgiving. Should we?
Thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you. Oh. I'm also thankful, most of all, other than for you, for the fact that when we decided in August to start a football gossip pop culture podcast, that like 2 weeks later, the most famous woman in America decided to start dating a football player.
Perfect.
Thankful for that.
She followed our lead.
Yeah. I'm also more recently thankful for all of Travis Kelce's old tweets that just resurfaced last week. Hours of entertainment and laughter.
A lot of chipotle, however you spelled it.
All the tweets that are just like, nobody has ever had 10-year-old tweets exposed, and it made them more endearing. Like, he's the first.
Crushing it,
a
Travis.
Sweet boy.
Well, I'm thankful I'll throw a football one out here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thankful that the Giants are winning, because now the Patriots might have a better chance at a draft pick.
You're thankful that your team is closer and closer to last place.
Yeah, it's just that kind of year.
Speaking of the Giants, I'm thankful for Tommy DeVito, my new favorite quarterback and my new favorite touchdown celebration.
Python.
The best of all time. So good. And I'm thankful we had our first troll. We had somebody trolling us in our YouTube comments, and that made me feel like we made it. So thanks for watching.
Thank you. We're thankful for you. Thanks for tuning in. And I'm thankful that the NFL has remained this interesting through week 11.
Yes. Thankful.
So far into the season, every game is fun to watch. Speaking of, are you ready to dive into some headlines from this past week?
Let's get into it.
So during week 11, Tommy DeVito, your guy there.
My guy.
He had a huge game and secured a win for the Giants, therefore putting Patriots in a better spot. But we'll see next week.
Long term.
Next week they face off. So that will be the real battle of the worst.
Yeah.
Week 11, we also may have seen Zach Wilson's last snap of the season.
I'm upset about
Poor guy. The Broncos, they found a way to stay relevant with their 4th win in a row. Travis Kelce proved to us that he can score a touchdown when Taylor's not in the audience.
He did it for her.
And Jason Kelce had his first win against his little brother.
That's gotta feel good. I was actually happy that the Eagles won, just because like they lost the last time they played. Everyone should get a turn to win.
Yeah, I had mixed feelings, but
yeah.
I'm happy.
I mean, I was mostly upset because I lost my fantasy football game by 0.4 points. And if Travis Kelce hadn't fumbled, but then he redeemed himself, he got a touchdown. He did it for Taylor. She wasn't there.
Just not enough for
Not
you.
enough for me, but it's not about me. It's not about me. But speaking of Travis and him sometimes fumbling and sometimes not, we were graced with a new tell-all interview this week.
Yes.
Speaking of thankful.
Another thing we're thankful for.
Yes. Overwhelmed with thanks this week. I almost considered buying myself a subscription to the Wall Street Journal because I wanted every word.
Yeah.
But luckily, there are people on the internet.
Enough places to find it.
Enough places to find it. So to pay it forward from the people who screenshotted it so that I could see it, I will summarize it so that nobody else out here has to waste their time, with the Wall Street Journal. He really laid it all out there. Some of the major takeaways, he said that they had their first date in New York City before she went to the Chiefs game, which there was some debate about it at that time. I think we said here that our sources confirmed it was not their first date. And now we know for sure. He said he wasn't nervous about their first date because they had already been talking a bunch.
Okay.
Yeah. So the timeline, pieces
are more detail
are falling
here
into place. He talks a lot about how impressed he is by her, how smart she is, how they share the same values, and that his biggest focus early on was just not to do anything to push her away.
Aww.
Which is so sweet. And people are saying that like the whole sort of theme of the Lover album, which is her album when she was with Joe Alwyn, is like, I'm so afraid like he's gonna run away, and that now Travis is like,
now he's afraid she's gonna run away.
It's just like, I don't want to push her away.
Yeah, and the fact that he just like respects her so much, I thought it was very, very sweet article.
Yes, very clear. And then it all comes back to when Donna Kelce gave her Today Show interview and seemed very like unimpressed by Taylor when they were asking her, what do you think? It is confirmed that she just was trying not to like embarrass him, blow up his spot.
Poor lady who was like, my son tells me not to say anything and everyone's asking me a million things. But
yes, so everyone's saying
obviously she loves Taylor.
She loves Taylor. She's like, he's never been happier. Boy, did he shoot for the stars. Cute. Yeah, she just didn't want to say the wrong thing. And then I guess the other biggest noteworthy moment, my personal favorite moment from the article, one of his friends was talking about how compatible they are. He said they're like two peas in a pod, Travis and Taylor, and that one night they were all hanging at Travis's house around a bonfire, and Travis and Taylor broke out into a duet of Teenage Dirtbag.
Wow.
The amount I would pay for footage of this, just like of all the songs.
They're just like us. I love that song.
He loves that song. They're millennials.
I was sang that around on campfire many times.
Invite me next time. I'll harmonize.
Yeah. And we know Travis can sing because he now has their new Christmas special.
Yes,
the Eagles do that. I guess he's part of.
I also saw, I had no context. It was just a TikTok, him at some sort of like Kansas City event karaoke, and he can carry a tune. Yeah, he's good.
What's next for these two? We're ready for anything.
Definitely.
And now I wanted to get to our top story of the week around an investigation that's ongoing with the NFL.
Football focused, but in a scandalous way. So I'll allow it.
The NFL is investigating the Bengals for not listing Joe Burrow on the injury report before the game on Thursday night against the Ravens. So during the game, Joe left in the second quarter with a wrist injury on his throwing hand, and he'll be out for the rest of the season with a torn ligament, which wouldn't be a big deal because injuries happen all the time in the NFL.
Yeah.
But before the Thursday night game, there was a video posted and later deleted that showed Joe Burrow's hand, which looked like it was wrapped in a soft cast.
Yes, I think so. I think it was the Bengals like social media team. They're like getting content. They're showing everybody, and in the background, you can see Joe Burrow, a sliver of his wrist wrapped up, and everybody screenshot it and was like, what's this? What's on his wrist? What's going on? And it could have been that what he said later, I think, is that like sometimes you wrap it when you're flying or whatever. But then at the very next game, he looked like he was in pain the whole time. He's taken out. And then it turns out that the injury that he didn't sustain at that time, like he already had it, that he needs to have a season-ending surgery for it.
Like very serious surgery. Which, he's saying, him and the coach are saying it was the compression sleeve. They're still standing by that. But
liars.
I think it's sketchy that they deleted the video, because if there's nothing to hide, then why would they delete the video?
Definitely. I just feel bad for whatever like social media coordinator thought they were doing a great job. They're like, here I am, capturing content, and
all of a sudden, it's gone.
Yeah,
ongoing investigation now. But you got to feel bad for Joe.
Yes.
It's the second time in his career that he suffered a season-ending injury in the middle of the season.
And his career hasn't been that long, right? Like,
it's 4 years.
So if
2 years of that, he's been injured for half the season.
Yeah, that's tough.
Down a whole season at that point. Right. But at least he has a big contract to lessen the blow. He just signed, before this year, he signed a 5-year contract for $275 million.
That will help with
medical bills.
Your recovery process, finding things to entertain yourself with while you're sitting there.
Plenty of cash.
Wow. So, but he still gets that for this season, even though he's out. I'm sure he gets some of it.
I don't really know how that works,
okay.
Actually.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, I'll look that one up. But overall, we're seeing a big shift in these young quarterbacks in the NFL. They started off strong, but now going into week 11, things are changing. Zach Wilson, we talked about, he was benched this past week for another rookie, Tim Boyle. We'll see if that accomplishes anything.
Yeah, if one is better than the other.
Yeah, it's like trading in one youngin for the next.
Yeah.
Mac Jones on the Patriots, he likely will be benched again. I think they're still trying to figure out what to do with the Patriots.
Has he tried getting the team ice cream?
I know. Yeah, Mac.
Like, Zach,
that might help.
Tell your friends it worked once.
Yeah.
Not this time,
If you're listening, Mac, please buy the boys ice cream. Kenny Pickett, the quarterback for the Steelers, there's rumors that he might be benched for Mason Rudolph because he only had 2 touchdowns since the beginning of October.
Not good.
People are not happy.
When you Google Kenny Pickett, like on the top of his Instagram, it talks about how he has small hands.
Oh,
which is,
I guess why?
I think embarrassing for personal reasons, and also like it would hinder your abilities to be a great football player. You need these big mitts, and Kenny Pickett's got the little hands, so that could be part of the problem for him. That's what I think, based on his Wikipedia. Other than that, it's kind of boring.
That's a good fact.
Yeah, I like it. It's
definitely
the only thing I remember about him. And Sam Howell, the quarterback of the Commanders, I have nothing interesting to say about him except that he like only eats chicken nuggets. He doesn't eat red meat. He doesn't eat, and it's not like a health thing. I think he's like one of those kids who's
that's all
like
he
eats
on.
like buttered noodles and
yeah.
So all I know about Kenny Pickett is that he has small hands, and all I know about Sam Howell is chicken nuggets. That's just what I'm here to contribute.
I love it. It's relevant.
Yeah.
This could be what's wrong with these quarterbacks.
Yeah. The more you know, you don't have a full, complete diet or...
But let's not forget about Tommy DeVito.
Yes. Tommy DeVito.
He likes the chicken cutlets too.
Definitely.
And he had the best game of all of these young quarterbacks.
And we were making fun of him. I mean, I sure was 2 weeks ago.
No one knows what to expect with him, but he had 3 touchdowns against the Commanders this past week.
I'm rooting for him.
It's the best out of all these guys.
Yeah. The memes just about like the Sopranos family dinner of like what's waiting for Tommy DeVito when he gets home, or like the first quarterback whose mom makes his bed to score 3 touchdowns.
He's got nothing to stress about.
Yeah. And own it too. He doesn't seem embarrassed.
No,
he's like, my mom folds my laundry.
He's like, why would I if I can just bike to work?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He said like, I probably live closer to the stadium than like where they would put me up or than anybody else does.
Yeah.
So everyone loves a short commute. NFL players are not immune to that.
Young quarterbacks, go move home with mom.
Yeah. It might help.
It might help.
I think Lamar Jackson, I don't think he lives with his mom. I think his mom lives with him, and he's having a good season.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah, he's having a great season.
Oh, great. Yeah. And so maybe there's something to be said.
Maybe that's the secret.
Maybe we should look into where Kenny Pickett's mom lives.
Yeah, where's like that chart? We need a chart here.
All right, so that's our tip to the young quarterbacks for the week. Tell your mom to pack her bags. Okay, and while we're on the topic of moms making dinner, and seeing as it is Thanksgiving,
yes,
we have a new segment this week that we're going to call Kelly's Turkeys.
I love it.
This is where Kelly gives us her bonehead plays of the year. Kelly, who are your turkeys?
I have a few turkeys so far this year.
Let's hear them.
Sorry in advance to these players. I'll start with Tyrod Taylor, who was the backup starter of the Giants, now taken over by Tommy DeVito because he got injured.
Another rib injury. Yeah. This time, no punctured lung.
Second rib injury. Hope he's doing well.
Same.
But when he was out there, he ran the clock out on the half and went against what his coach said.
I remember this.
Yeah, said he should throw the ball. He just decided, pulled an audible and just ran, and the time ran out.
Don't
and that was pretty boneheading because they could have beat the Bills, and that was just bad time management.
And for that, you're a turkey.
Next turkey, I have Bailey Zappi, backup for the Patriots. He was put out there against the Colts in the last few minutes of the game, trying to get final momentum, trying to pull off a win there. Mm-hmm. He did this fake spike, which people fell for. It was a cool play.
The theatrics.
And then immediately threw it into the hands of several Colts players.
It makes it a lot less cool when you fuck it up.
Yeah,
after.
I was like, oh, maybe we got something. Oh, turn off the TV.
All we got is a turkey.
All we got is a turkey. I hope he had some time to think about that while they were on their bye week. Next turkey was when the Bills had 12 men on the field during a field goal kick.
I had never heard of this. I mean, I guess it doesn't happen often, but it happens sometimes.
Yeah, it's just a total like coaching error.
They lost, right? Because
kicker of the Broncos missed the 41-yard field goal, which should have been game over. The Bills would have won the game. But there were 12 men on the field, so they had to re-kick. And
they made it.
They made the kick. And they won by 1 point.
Wow. I was watching this. I sort of forgot because a little bit all of the football just blends together. People are winning and losing and yelling and whatever. But this was exciting. You're like, oh, this guy sucks. He just lost it for everybody. And then you're like, no, wait, the other team sucks worse. They lost it for everybody. Yeah, that's 12 turkeys. Really just one. It's the coach.
That's 12 turkeys. It's 12 turkeys. 13 turkeys. Yeah,
including the coach.
Yeah. My next turkey, I'm going to pick someone from the Monday night game, Chiefs, Eagles. I'm going to have to go with Marquez Valdez-Scantling, who dropped a perfect pass from Patrick Mahomes and ended up losing the game because of that drop pass. Poor kid.
Tough break.
Patrick was not happy.
No. We're not giving it to Travis Kelce because he ended up getting a touchdown.
He did end up getting a touchdown.
Okay. So it like comes out in the wash. So Marquez is a turkey.
Still a turkey. And then last but not least, the refs have made some seriously bad calls. So I'm going to add them to the turkey list.
Refs, you're all a bunch of turkeys. I am going to add one. I'm going to call myself a turkey because last week we were talking about DK Metcalf. If we all remember, he's the one who loves candy. He plays for the Seahawks. He gave another guy the jersey right off his back. Very sweet. He's dating Normani from Fifth Harmony.
What?
And right over my head, missed it. I knew she was dating a football player, but I forgot which one. And for that, I'm a turkey. So DK Metcalf loves candy and also is dating a celebrity. So he's just moving up in our book.
You heard it here.
Yep. So for that, I'm like half a turkey, a little mini turkey, because at least I fixed my mistakes.
A turkey leg.
Yeah, I'll be a turkey leg. So before I became a football fan about 4 months ago, through 3.5, give or take, my only association with between Thanksgiving and football is the Friends episode of football where they play. I didn't know that it's like it goes hand in hand with the holiday.
Yeah, it might be the best day of football there is Thanksgiving Day.
I knew. I guess I'm watching football on Thanksgiving now.
Yeah, there's 3 games that are going to be played. You definitely will be watching them.
Yeah, definitely.
And I figured we could make these games a little bit more interesting and bet on the spread.
Okay.
For all 3 of them.
Okay, I know what I learned recently what the spread is. If you and I were playing against each other in football, Vegas decides the spread. I think that's where
Vegas decides all the gambling rules.
Vegas
in the world.
They would be like, okay, Kelly's better at football than Marissa, so it's not an even match. It's not just who's going to win. We think Kelly's going to win by 20 points. So now the spread is 20. So if somebody bets on you to win, you would have to beat me by more than 20 to cover the spread.
Yes.
So everyone out there, when people are talking about the spread, it's how much Vegas odds think one team is going to beat
better
the
than
other
team.
So
you have to be like pretty precise in these bets. So we're going to make it real fun. Yeah.
Okay, I feel like you have the advantage here as in, the spread. Like your spread would be, I don't know if I'm using that right, but either way, you have the advantage here.
Well, I'll let you pick 2 of the games and I'll just pick one.
Okay, I love that.
That's our spread.
I love that spread. What are we wagering? What are we betting on this?
How about the loser buys the bottle of wine for the next 2 taping of the podcast.
So that sounds perfect.
And bragging rights, of course.
Okay.
For the next episode.
You're on. I'm into this. I'm down. Okay. So what's are the games? Who's playing on Thanksgiving?
Packers are playing the Lions in Detroit.
Okay.
That's the first one.
Lions are like top tier on my journey towards picking a team. I got to go Lions. So I'm betting that the Lions will win and cover the spread.
And cover the spread.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's a good one.
Write it down, producer. Okay. So then you pick the next one.
Another game that's being played. The next game is the Commanders at Cowboys.
Okay.
I am going to pick the Cowboys to cover the spread.
Sounds right.
They've scored a lot of points lately.
And the Commanders have not.
They're coming off a loss.
Yeah. All right. Fair choice. I get so it's like we're doing best 2 out of 3. Is that what we're doing for our games?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. And then what's the last game?
And the last game is the 49ers at the Seahawks.
Okay. 49ers. I'm betting. I've found the Seahawks to be fun to watch lately, but
I feel like this one's like the riskiest of
them.
Of the three.
It could be a shock, but
it's at Seahawks.
Oh, it is.
Home game.
Yeah, that's another thing that I never thought about, that like there is a home team advantage.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I've never thought about like
fans make a difference.
The fact that if it's raining, they run the ball more than throwing the ball. I've never thought fantasy football has really broadened my horizons in ways I never could have anticipated. I think if people out there aren't that into football, like it might sound counterintuitive to spend more of your time focused on football if you don't like it. But fantasy football has been like the biggest thing that has made me way more interested.
It's definitely a great way to learn about more players, who plays on what team,
like strategy and what the different positions do.
Who's the worst?
Yeah. Sometimes your team, you can think they're the best and then you lose by 0.4.
I know. Can't predict anything.
But yes, 49ers covering the spread at Seahawks. Final answer.
You're on.
We'll be watching.
I'm going to be thirsty next week for some wine.
A chilled bottle of white wine.
Well, I can't wait to see who's the winner of these games next week.
Same.
But before we leave, it's time for the final goss.
Final goss.
What do you have for us today, Marissa?
Okay, Kelly. So normally we like to stick to current players, but this story is so dramatic and involves one football player and one reality star and has been going on for so long that we really do, I think, have an obligation to cover it here at the Tea Huddle. Kim Zolciak-Biermann, who we obviously all know from The Real Housewives of Atlanta and her sort of estranged husband, former NFL player Croy Biermann.
Croy Biermann. We just pause on that name for a second.
Croy Biermann. He was a Falcons player.
He was a Falcons player, yeah.
And she was a Real Housewife of Atlanta. Match made in, Georgia heaven. They have had the cops called on them like 4 times since the summer. And most recently was Monday, this time by one of their youngest kids.
Oh, that's sad. Kids are getting involved.
Yeah, it sounds like a real mess. So Kim and Croy met in 2010. Like all great love stories, first comes marriage and then comes your reality TV spinoff. They had their own show. So she had a song on Real Housewives of Atlanta, Don't Be Tardy for the Party. Does that ring any bells? No.
No. Like she sings?
I mean, sort of. Not.
I like it.
Yeah, no, it's
a little jingle.
Definitely. It's really catchy. I won't sing it, but it's great. So then when her and Croy got together, they had a spinoff, Don't Be Tardy for the Wedding. And then they got married and it dropped and just became many seasons of Don't Be Tardy. That was their show. And it just was all about like their home life, their quirky big family. He adopted her 2 oldest daughters from previous relationships. They had 4 kids together and it really...
6 kids.
6 kids. Yeah. And it's just about sort of like the chaotic, fun home life that was like based in real, what felt like to the viewers, a happy, loving family.
Kim, Croy are the best K's, or this like a Kardashian situation?
So Kim had Brielle and Ariana from previous relationships. And then when Kim and Croy got together, they had KJ, Cash, Kaya, and Kane.
Wow.
And they were all born within 2 years of each other. From 2011 to 2013, they had 4 kids. So it's just like chaotic and fun. It's a lot. But it was like
Kardashian knockoffs.
Very, but like trashy version. Like chain smoking cigarettes and drinking out of red Solo cups. And like it seemed like rich, but sort of down to earth. Who knows how much of it all was a lie, because flash forward to February of this year, their house gets foreclosed on. This is the first indication that like all is not as it seems. She says it's not true that their house is foreclosed on, but like it's literally true. It's public documents. Like it actually is.
Okay.
There started being like auctions of their personal stuff. Oof. Then May 2023, they file for divorce. And this is where it starts getting sort of like bizarre and icky. I'm going to run through quickly the sequence of events because there's a lot of back and forth. May, they file for divorce. She drops Bierman from her Instagram name. He says in court documents that she doesn't pay any attention to their kids. July, they unfile for divorce.
Unfile. Okay, 2 months later.
Yep. August, he files for divorce again.
Oh my God.
She petitions for his filing to be dismissed. She tells TMZ their marriage is alive despite the filing. Then their house goes.
So she's holding on, and he
definitely. She's like, no, everything's great, and he's like, I would like to not be married to you.
Wow.
Immediately. Their house goes back into pre-foreclosure. I don't know what that is, but that's what TMZ said.
Getting ready. Foreclose.
It's on its way. Well, he says that they are financially destitute.
Then
Then
he's not ashamed. He's just
like, help us.
fact,
Yeah,
yeah.
he said in court documents, like, she gambles away all of our money. We're broke. Like,
I did see that they owe the IRS $1 million or more.
Yeah, seems like some bad financial decisions, bad life decisions. She then announces she wants the divorce dismissed because they still have regular sex, so that should like nullify.
That trumps the divorce.
He says, it's true, we do still have regular sex, but even so, I want to get divorced.
Oh, man.
Cops are called to the house because they're fighting. She tells 911 she doesn't feel safe in the home, even though she's the one who's like, no, I definitely still want to be married. And also we're still having a lot of sex with each other. Then, this is the weirdest part of the whole thing. They fly together to LA where she is traveling to have vaginal rejuvenation surgery, which you might think
recently.
this
after
was
divorces.
Yes.
Situation.
Just like a couple months ago from right now. You would think maybe she's like coming to terms, okay, we're getting divorced. If I'm going to be back out there, you know, I had 4 kids back to back. Like, but he went with her, which that doesn't make any sense to me. Cops are called again for their dog attacking a neighbor's kid. Then they celebrate their anniversary together out to dinner.
What?
She changes her name back to Bierman on Instagram. This was all a week ago. And then now, less than a week later, one of the youngest kids called 911 to the house again, saying that there's extreme fighting.
There was hope for a little while.
Yeah, I don't know what there was, but it just felt like, you know, the 5th time the cops get called to the house, he was a former football player. She's a reality star. Like, we gotta fill the people in.
Time's up. The fact the kids are calling too, I don't like to hear that.
I don't like it either. And it just makes me sad as somebody who watched Real Housewives of Atlanta and Don't Be Tardy for the Wedding and Don't Be Tardy.
It's all come to an end.
Like, yeah, they really did seem like sweet and happy. And they were married for over a decade, which in reality TV years is like infinite.
Yeah.
But love is dead, I guess. Or just like, don't be a gambling alcoholic and spend all your money. And
yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah. So hopefully we don't hear anything more from them. Hopefully they just go quietly off into the night. But if we separately, I hope that the kids are in therapy.
Yeah, in therapy. Yeah.
And hopefully the final goss next week is something like fun, lighthearted, juicy that has nothing to do with kids calling the cops on their parents. But enough about them. Happy Thanksgiving, Kelly. We have a lot of football to watch this week. We now know about the spread, so we can cover it. Everyone out there can make your informed bets.
A lot of football to watch. A lot of young quarterbacks.
Oh, and that the winning team, doesn't the team that wins the night game, they get to eat a turkey leg on the field, which people get excited about.
Yeah, that's the best part. They get excited.
All right, well, everyone out there, enjoy your Thanksgiving.
And stay juicy.